Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the program, The Assembly, right here on ABS Television. My name is Lady Blonde from the very, 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 very high places. And I am the prettiest right here in the room. But, never alone. So I have members of the Assembly with me, and one of them just came back from his sabbatical leave, and he's putting on white. I don't know if he has become a saint, but whatever. Let's begin with you. Just introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Prof. Zekwes, HPZ. It's good to be on the show once again after a long time.
Okay, so after a long time. And then he came back with nothing after a long time.
Who says I came back with nothing?
Because I haven't seen anything. Or Wavy, did you get anything? So now you're no longer on my side. No. That's quite disappointing.
That's the thing.
Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? No, you should. No. You know what? You should be disciplined, actually. But we'll talk about that later. So, Prof, you're welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so we also have a Wavy.
High Chief Ogbuefi onu na-eli no South anyị abịagokwe n'ọzọ tata na the assembly kunu sobe na ina topic nkaji na kata ododilo.
Okay, so Wavy, we begin on a sad note because we lost someone in the House of Assembly, State House of Assembly, talking about Anambra State, Dr. Nnamdi Okafor, representing Awka South Constituency 1, and also the majority leader. Now that's a very huge loss, a very sad one to the legislative institution, I must say.
Actually, Nwaanyị is a very big Iroko trader fell in Anambra State because my own brother, and he's somebody that has done a lot. Omega to Mando Ajadu Olugolu Noma. Many people own a scholarship. So as it stands now, the whole of Anambra State, Mandoka South, Mandoka North, are in deep alele now. We are in deep we are in deep
dilemma, I think.
Thank you. I know we are a big alele now in Anambra State. So I know seek a family ometute. Na nya ala ewolog na wan bendo mo. Kunu diwe. O chuku wote chuku na ewolu. So I know seek the soul of our honorable member Nnamdi Okafor. Akajugo one Awka South. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen. And may God grant his family the fortitude to bear that heavy loss. Okay, so another thing, I don't know, your constituency is always on the news. So now, the government of Anambra State has reiterated its stance on banning Okada riders, motorcycles, from operating in certain cities in Anambra State, Ekwulobia, Nnewi, Awka, and Onitsha. What are your thoughts on that?
Prof.
Prof, I mean, you've been in the state for quite some time now.
All right. The ban of Okada, that's motorcycle, and what have you, in some places, I think they said it's Nnewi.
Yes, Nnewi, Ekwulobia, Awka, and Onitsha.
Well, it's just like nothing goes for nothing. It's as a result of criminality that is on the up. Criminality, so many things have been committed using motorcycles. So the government, in a bid to carry out their first duty, which is security of lives and properties, had no choice but to ban it. Now, these things are responsible for the valetudinarian and hypochondriacal state of Nigeria, Anambra State in particular. So this is why the government has decided to handle it that way. And it's nice. There was a time it was Awka here.
Yes.
Awka and Onitsha.
Awka, yes.
While now it's Ekwulobia, and so it's highly understandable.
Well, so some would come up with this argument of you know what, why are you banning this source of livelihood? That's what it is to some persons. And they would say, okay, you've not put anything in place, so why ban it? Because the crime that you're trying to curb or reduce would increase, because some would say they'll go back to nothing.
The greatest philosophy of change is that it is oxymoronic. Positive change is oxymoronic. It affects every person. The implementer of the change, the invigorator of the change, the initiator of the change, and the conciliators and the masters, the beneficiaries and benefactors of the change, they are all affected by the change. There is no type of change you want to implement today that will not affect everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
You must take risk. Nature, in its consistency and inconsistency, is very realistic and natural. And it will pinch you and will not give you an opportunity to take your revenge. So that is just it.
Okay.
People must lose
So,
for something
but
to...
do you think there are things the government need to put in place concerning this ban?
To me,
Any long-term or short-term, solution?
Can add to oyibo, even
Go
though
ahead.
na ma watachara na agbali chede. So
Oxymoronic.
my own is that oburo so to ban okada, but the problem abre ban ya. But nyam we you na substitute. Amami water.
Okay.
Just like Prof say no anara do cheesy, but oburo no anara na etetola ngofu nwa onu n'ala. It's not always easy. So obu na enwe substitute while on a ban kwa okada. Asikwa mi anya ban.
Okay.
Ka on a ban okada ya create a more job opportunity for these people.
Okay, so someone would say, okay, why don't the government as well, since you're taking away motorcycle, so why
Since
don't
you
you
have taken
provide
away
buses, shuttles, or a tricycle, all of those things, and then have these people come, register, take it, and then remit a certain amount, yes, to the government. This is a way of, trying to alleviate that pain of them going back to doing nothing.
Exactly.
Or even put a time frame. Okay, say probably at 6 p.m. they should stop operating, because I'm saying this for persons in Newi. Because I understand that's basically what they are known for.
To add to that one, just like Prof said, so he said that onara do easy. Onwere change you obuna that is always that easy. So it take some time.
Okay.
Because I'm na ebumnobi our dear governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo. Ebumnobi is for the betterment
of the
this
Anambra.
place. Of the whole Anambra.
Okay.
So onye obuna megini, onye ona malelo ye shidiwe, nyadiwe. Mana nke na agwa personally, obuna o ye create more job opportunity oya amakwamma. To avoid all this imago.
Okay. At this point we just have to stand up and recite actually the national anthem. May we rise? Okay.
Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey, to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. To serve without our might, one nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Okay.
We have a wonderful lady here, Amaka Obashe. She will be our muse for today. So sit at home and enjoy. Hello Amaka, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm fine.
Okay, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So let's start. Now this is me applying the foundation on her skin. And another thing that will help, if you also have the primer, is also a good thing. But if you don't have, the only thing you have to do, the basic thing is to blend your foundation very well. Whenever you blend, go down to the person's neck. Always, it's very important.
Okay, welcome back. This is still the Assembly right here on ABS Television. Now, we've been joined by another member of the Assembly. His name is Cyril Okonkwo, but let me allow him to introduce himself.
I don't know the name where you talk. I don't also say I be the name where you young score.
That's why I said introduce yourself. Sorry.
Okay. Well, clearly, and gentlemen, in case you're listening, whether you're listening from my place in Akwa Ibom, or you are even in Benin City, or you are in Anambra State, my name remains Itoro Wong. Itoro, the only one Itoro Wong, the typical son of the entire Akwa Ibom kingdom. I don't want to make I talk the talk.
Okay, at some point I heard Anambra State. It's actually state, but I can understand.
Wait.
Okay.
What exactly is going on here?
What do you think is going on?
I have been trying my best to acclimatize to what happens here. First, it was somebody from Yoruba land, and then it was Marcy. Through the disagreements and force, the imbroglio and quagmire, we got to acclimatize and get along. Right now is another person. You are welcome. I wouldn't want to say that you are a Becedarian or that you are a neophyte, due to the fact that the world is metamorphosing to digitalism. Everybody is equal, But I can only say you're welcome. I just hope we'll get along very soon.
I also hope they know being short. Because all this English
it can be.
Speak. I also say English where they cook well.
They are invigorating idiolects.
Okay, Waifu, you have nothing to say, and I understand. I practically understand. But this is one Nigeria, isn't it? So, I mean, you're welcome once again. We'll talk about him later, but for now... everything. We are actually mourning. Let's not talk too much.
Let's forge ahead.
Okay, moving on. So Anambra State government has actually banned the movement of cattle in Anambra State. So Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo has banned a movement of cattle on foot in every part of Anambra State. Now, the governor, who met with members of Anambra State Cattle Menace Committee at the Government House, Awka, during the weekend, said the ban was in compliance with the 2021 anti-open grazing law of the state, adding that enforcement would begin from September, which is next month. Now, members of the Assembly, let's not forget that this law was actually put in place last year, so it's not something new. But then implementation is what we're talking about here. And Mr. Governor has said, look, the enforcement will begin next month. What are your thoughts on this? Who would want to go first?
All right.
Okay, make I talk. You know, the other day, I Yoks in Anambra has come to me, get where they call Upuno, get it for Rangrang. If you walk out this road now, come the trek, you go enter one junction there now. You go Yoks, you get one round up.
Okay.
You come, they keep moving, you come find Upuno in the area. Now, as I say, make I call here, I come see all the cattle. All these people carry the thing now, don't scatter the main road, the freeway Yorks there as it is. The thing can affect me, I can't say, Uga. Anybody where you want to do business, make you go create a place where you be like motor park.
It's called ranch.
Anything when you know me, to I know they to understand English. Understand? The only thing I sabi cook food. If we talk about food, I'm a chief chef.
So you have culinary skills.
I can cook and scatter everybody. You understand what it done?
Okay, continue. It's okay.
I could say these people is to say I got this cow. But I will use and prepare hot dog. You know the thing they call hot dog.
I know.
But maybe just carry the thing enter on top of inside the motor park and pack all these things, all the cow.
Okay, so for you, you feel it's a welcome development.
100%. If I know that English is cooked well, like they cook food, it's 100% welcome.
Okay, so Prof, Anambra State government has given from now until September, that's 1st of September, the implementation is going to be put in place, right? Now, do you think it's a short notice? As much as this whole thing was signed into law last year by the last administration, now, do you think it's a short notice or it's something that should be done? It doesn't matter.
It is no short notice. The decision, the idea, the law, that particular ordinance is what I see as a Catholicon, what I see as imperative. The Kantian categorical imperative by extension. For the developmentalism we are looking for, the tsunami of development we are looking for. When you study the danger, when you study the mayhem, when you study what they have caused, the cattle anyway, sometimes when you hear the stories of the cattle, you begin to wonder, you begin to ponder. Do these cattle or do these animals, domestic and wild at the same time, do these animals possess some human characteristic?
Yes,
walking into people's farm, match it, oh my God. You see, cows actually made us, these cows actually made us understand the term, take the bull by the horns. Because you must take the bull by the horns. If you take the cow by the legs and it matches you, that's the end for you. So it is a very nice thing. I am very happy. The implementation should have even started today. I am just very happy. Let them start the implementation, because you cannot continue slapping people and telling them to smile. No.
Okay.
It's not done anywhere.
Adding to you and Pasalo, the implementation of
it's been long you said your normal thing.
What's that?
So I can't go for one. So
why?
Me too.
I don't know Kabachi Kalababata. Don't went to add to you.
He came from the junction.
Okay. So adding to the topic I given concerning the anti-grazing even one Ichinama Anachi. So so to begin with, the thing amaka ịghọtara so ashi ebute ọkpụkpụ tielu ululu shibulu ululu tielu ọkpụkpụ maka na iwe gọvanọ anyị bụ n'obi is a good thing. I got to me something that we even benefit. Obunandu Fulani no one achieve no one. Mulala never mama. Why are what an is for their own good? How? Imane will get a lot of issue concerning this Fulani herdsmen going to a community in Anambra State, destroying and killing people. After people, we will now carry the anger on them and killing the innocent. Makana ndi botulunishina. Ana aijizi obala mechanic amazindo wondala. Are you getting? Do you understand the proverb? So we use because of too much mechanic in Anambra, we cannot differentiate the mad people again. So, but if they can imbibe in this law, we good understanding over the acts.
And not see it as some sort of discrimination.
It will help the security agencies in terms of fishing out the bad ones.
Okay. Because
this act yenyaka amalundu the innocent Fulani cattle rearer. Yana those terrorist herdsmen. So if they will accept the law with their full chest.
No, the law is law. I mean, the law is just the law. You just have no other option than to obey the law.
I don't understand what you talk. I could like add something on top of the job. I hope you're not, you know the insult.
But I can land the chat. So to add to what I'm saying, so to add to what I'm saying is, we are trying to make security. Oh, you are security wise. You have to stand there, form so that ikukukuo about touch. So that is the little I want to add in this.
Okay, quickly before we move on to the next.
Okay,
topic.
you don't say the talk say food. You know, the cost of food for Nigeria is very high. One of the things where it costs now the farmer herdsmen clashes.
Okay.
We don't exist for Nigeria. Okay. If you go to Nasarawa, you go everywhere.
It's
you
not
understand?
just in the southern part.
Then you come down to here, everywhere, for even Fairborn. And so people, they kill, they men. Now, this whole thing, I don't call say comment. Don't take it front seat and say, everybody, you have to rear your car in a way that has to meet what they call international standard.
Yeah.
So this is what we they do. Now, the 17th century, when we don't enter 2022 century.
Okay. So you're in support of it. Anyway, you can join the conversation. The phone number is right there on your screen. You can call us, share your thoughts with us. This is the Assembly, and we will be White Black. Stick around. All right, welcome back. Moving on to the second topic, which has to do with the Parents Teachers Association proposing to pay 10,000 naira per session to ASU. Now, the National Parent Teacher Association of Nigeria has demanded a meeting with the federal government in reaction to the continuing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities. Now, the association is also proposing for parents to contribute 10,000 naira every session to assist the government in funding universities on a larger scale. Members of the Assembly, we all know that ASU has been on strike for over 6 months now, 100 and something days, right? Students have been at home, nothing. Every conversation, every meeting between ASU and federal government, well, is always a deadlock. Now, parents are saying, look, in order for our kids to go back to school, we're proposing to pay 10,000 naira every session to enable the funding going on in the university. What are your thoughts on that? Let's also not forget the fact that these parents proposing this, there are some of them who are struggling to pay their kids' tuition fee. And now you're trying to propose this one. Do you think it is appropriate? What are your thoughts?
Talk is cheap. Just like slogans are nice. One, the protracted strike has caused a lot of harm already. I came across a newspaper of 1981, that was 41 years ago, where people were talking about strike under President Shehu Usman Aliyu Shagari. So you see that strike has been on for a long time. Strike has been lasting for a long time. It is like a festival. It's like an occasion, an instrument of extravaganza in the country. But you see one thing, saying that people should pay, parents suggesting that they should pay 10,000 for, what did they say?
Per session.
Per session. See, for me, I don't really think that would be nice. It is good, it is bad, you understand? Because when you start implementing it, 60% of them won't comply. 60% of them will not comply. 60%.
I said yesterday, ASU rejected the offer. Better.
In this country right now, we have reached a point of no return. Everybody is standing his ground. If you ask people of ASU what is going on, the strike has been on since 14th
February 14th as a Valentine gift.
Right now. Yes, that was our Valentine's gift. Thank you, federal government. I didn't work. And the ASU as well. If you ask people of ASU, they will say we have reached the point of no return. We don't want to succumb. We don't want to be subjugated by people who seem to be objurgators of academic suzerainty and prosperity. When you ask federal government, they will tell you, we don't want to be tossed around. We don't want to dance to a lot of rules from people who their own is to make demand and make demand and make demand. My own is this. You cannot continue doing something the same way and expect different results. Strike, since over 40 years, we are still doing the same thing. The day we stop the apotheosis and deification of backwardness, that is the day positivity will embrace us.
But right now, we're losing a lot of our lecturers, about 70% of them.
Students, of course.
I'm not talking about, for some students, but right now we're talking about lecturers, just the same way we're losing our doctors to other countries. Now we are losing our very own best, talking about lecturers. Now 70% of them are no longer in Nigeria. We keep losing them, and it looks like nobody cares.
You the talks they lose doctors. They will soon begin they lose people like us who they cook food. Because me now, the food where they cook here, I know they fit collect enough money now. So I will disappear. I go enter Canada, make a code here, they cook food. I don't tell you. Now maybe we talk about that strike. This thing where you talk this thing, it affects me. In fact, I even want to come out and begin to fight. As I come now, I don't hear you say, you need sick, I'm sick away in the first way they for Nebraska. So they don't talk and say, now indefinite strike now they want to enter now. Whether you want to, everybody should travel. That's why they travel. Doctor now they travel. People they travel. Radio people they travel. Now we will they cook food now, we don't they disappear. So the strike will have to continue because you must get tired of the place where you did before you go make change. May I tell you, if you did live for face me, I face your house. And that place you did comfortable inside that house. If person they tell you say they pay 800,000 for flat, where you could tell and say maybe they pay, concern you. But one day when you wake up, say, man, I don't tire for face me, I face you. At that time you go make effort to move out of that place. Now the federal government never tire. As we never tire, the only people who don't tire are the parents. That's why they are making proposal. But that proposal, until you know work because my mama be pay 10,000 for the small ones.
So why are Parents Teachers Association proposing that, knowing that all fingers are not equal?
Why you since issue of this 10,000 naira levy. First of all, I commend the Parents Association.
Because to an extent, they feel, okay, there's nothing else we can do. Everybody has, come out to say, this is what we can offer, this is what we can offer.
Even I myself, my children now are at home.
So who should compromise?
So that's
who should compromise?
So what I'm trying to say,
I think I'm lost. I don't even know what you said. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is that the thing now is just, will I say that everybody is tired? Are you getting me? So, but my little advice is that let the government and the ASU, let them come together. So that this thing
But they've been coming together.
So, Mama Letua is
For a long time.
The Minister for State Level and Employment is saying, look, we've run out of ideas. We don't know what to do anymore. And he went as far as calling on parents to beg ASU.
Yes.
And I guess that was why they came up with this. Okay, ASU, we're proposing 10,000 naira if you could just accept possession. But let's also not forget the fact that what ASU is trying to do is ensure that our universities are up to standard, that international standard, where we can have foreign students. Just the same way some Nigerians go to other countries to study. The same way we need other countries to come to our own country to study.
To me now, with what is going on, I'm sorry to say it, that our country is almost losing standard of education already.
Okay.
This thing is so it's better now. Let this thing into parent association now.
You are starting to say it.
To waking them up. To either waking both the federal government or both mandates. Now talking
about Ugo, I understand Ugo means payment. Now they've been at home for the past 6 months. Federal government is saying, look, it's no work, no pay, right? So they are saying we cannot pay you because you did not work for the past 6 months. Now ASU is saying, look, you must pay us. You are owing us for the past 6 months. I think that's actually the bone of contention here. They've agreed to certain terms, but they're saying, look, if you say you're not going to pay us for the past 6 months, that means we're not coming back to school.
Now that talk now you go keep the
Do
student
you
for
agree?
house. That one, that's why I tell you, say nobody, they never tire. Because if you don't tire, you go begin to listen. The thing like person will be saying I call recruit you. If not to pack money, keep seeing it toss. Nobody they look back. If not for one person to talk about say carry 180 billion, Ukoyoks the 180 billion. If you begin carry to give this ASU people, among this thing it going in. So when ASU they tell them say you don't get money, you don't get money. But this one, now minister, he chop money, you know catch up. This one he chop money. Even some people don't talk about the people where he thief money, may they contribute. You understand? So ASU, you cannot say you can't go back to school. After all, if you know this school since we no go pay you salary, how they won't take care of their children? You know go work now.
10,000.
Prof, do you think a government should pay them or government should accept to pay for some months and not pay the entire thing?
Well, let me
me
say this. Let me give you analysis right now. Number one. You see, wait. Right.
Hello? Oh, we lost the connection. Go ahead.
Where do I start?
Start from somewhere.
Okay, let me start here. The issue of we have not been paid. You must pay us. We will not pay you. No work, no pay. This. Now, the first thing we must do in Nigeria is we must implement government of continuity.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good afternoon. Please, if you want to talk to us, try as much as possible to turn off the volume of your TV set. Okay, you can't be listening to us from your TV set. It's highly impossible. To avoid holdback, please turn off the volume of your radio set to have a better and clear communication. Go ahead.
When I say we have a paroxysm or parody of democracy in Nigeria, people doubt me. Look at what ASU has been saying. This agreement was signed 2013. We had a different president then.
Continue.
We had a different president then. We have another one right now. The agreements, if we can start doing this, when a government signs something, you understand, there should be sanctions. There should be checks and balances. Talking about the money they give to senators and House of Rep members. These things were constitutionalized and institutionalized simultaneously and concurrently. And everybody came together to agree. It is not askew. You understand? It is not askew. It is something that we know. My worry is that I have seen people.
Hello? Yes, good afternoon.
Hello.
We're with you. Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
You're
My
welcome.
name is, Joseph Okoye.
Okay, Joseph, you're welcome. Where are you calling us from? Where are you calling us from? Where are you calling us from?
Why the students, why the federal government is owing ASU, and ASU is on indefinite strike, what compensation will the students get at the end of the whole term?
Okay.
And ASU will still demand their full compensation. How do you compensate the students that have been losing time and everything?
Okay, Joseph,
That
noted.
has never been discussed at all in terms of the students who are actually affected.
Okay.
It is like the federal government and ASU are fighting. Then the students are on the ground on which they are fighting.
The big
and the
elephant
students are
is
the ones
fighting.
actually suffering.
Okay. All right, Joseph. You didn't tell us your location. Tell us your location. Your location. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Enugu.
Oh, okay. Okay, quite interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Before we visit that, complete your contribution.
Yeah.
We come to that.
If my concern is that so many people who work there, so many lecturers are beginning to beg. Hunger is on the up. And these are things that burst. These are things that bring about the inception of crime in the society. We must look for a solution to these problems. Now, let us imagine that there are checks and balances. You come out, you say, we need so and so amount of money. Government tells you no, we can't pay this. Look at how much you can pay. National Assembly steps in, they checkmate what you're saying, and they come to a conclusion. And eventually, that government doesn't pay it. Because the problem we have in Nigeria is, when the next government comes, they will say perhaps it's from a different party. They will say, well, what the other party did is nonsense. Let us start our own party.
Okay.
That is why, if you listen to the reason behind the other strike, they said that the past government promised them so and so thing, and it wasn't done that way. So for me, this issue of we have worked for 6 months, we have not worked for 6 months, it's not something that can be discussed at once. You understand? These people have their grouse. Now, what's the issue he raised is a very important issue.
Yes.
He talked about people considering students. Students have
Because
not been put into
once
consideration.
they kick off right now, they'll be pushed to another level with empty brain.
I'm telling you, and there is a particular modus operandi and modus vivendi of the neurocranium, the hypothalamus and the medulla oblongata. You cannot just bring people and begin to force them. It will bring about a force and an imbroglio. These students, without them, there is no school. So I think there should be consideration, and it's a very, very nice point that the man made, that students have not been considered in all this force. You understand? Because what happened in 2021 when the strike was called off is that students actually did almost 2.5 years within 1 year. That's rush, months, study, exam, just to meet up. So it is not just funny. Everybody is tired. Lacrimosity, anguish, and pain, sorrow,
Both
anger
parties
everywhere.
should have a compromise.
Is that-
Yes, both parties should have some sort of compromise.
Of course, if you're not prepared to let go a particular thing, it means you're not prepared to completely hold something new, because your hands are there. You understand what I'm saying?
Take Abambo Jido Funduaka, both party. I make you more on the federal government, before to Siabuno and no ASU. Let's say that they are the problem.
Are they prepared to agree that they are the problem?
No party is ready to take the blame. No party is ready to take the blame. But all the same, because of time.
They speak English, they blow grammar.
I'm even lost. He keeps speaking Igbo, but it's okay. But
These children never go to school now. They empty their brain. It's more
anyway, thank God for dictionary.
Please. Thank you very much. Whatever you do, it's not just about going to school and studying. You must go into libro cubiculare. You must go into lucubration and elucubration.
You see the problem?
You must continue perusing
No, no,
pericles. You must continue reading.
In simple English, you just have to improve on your vocabulary.
No, this guy tonight cause us to strike.
No. I disagree with you.
One house. Okay, so we are urging both parties to, have a compromise. Yes, I mean, there has to be. One has to compromise. If it's possible, the two parties.
Sacrifice.
I mean, yes, that's the word. Sacrifice.
To bring about positive
Exactly.
change,
Very important.
If you're not prepared to sacrifice, it means that you're just in for a charade.
Okay, at this point we go on the break. When we return, we shall be going emotional. We shall be going relationship-wise. Stay with us. We'll be white, black. All right, welcome back. We go straight to our topic. Now, recently something has been trending on social media about a man who divorced the wife on the ground of she refusing to change her name in terms of documents and social media handles. What are your thoughts on this? Don't you think this, I mean, it should be a conversation that both parties should have had before coming together as one?
Okay. Make I tell you, when I see that news, I can't say, will I say these small children, these two children, whenever mature. Marriage no before small baking. No go do understand? A marriage, if you see, you see, say they never reason. Now, if you want to go inside marriage, you get things where you could discuss. All of us don't say for Africa here, once person you don't marry, automatically you don't begin call the wife the other name. Understand? But if the two of them get understanding, because nothing more for marriage apart from understanding. If I don't understand you, I marry you. In fact, before we walk out from here, reach that junction, everything is don't scatter. You understand what they talk about? So the two of them jokes are tell like small children. The only thing we have it talk inside rich talk.
Go ahead.
All right. It is very pitiable. It is regrettably lugubrious that a couple, people who have broken the jinx, people who have broken the law of mathematical calculation, that 1 + 1 is 2, changing it to 1, have decided to let a Lilliputian issue, have decided to let an infinitesimal issue be behemotic and Pantagruelian. It's bad. The issue of, it is not even about money. We can't pay school fees, we can't afford this or this. Issue of name is terrible. One is we must understand that the ordinances of marriage, the dogmas of marriage, the indoctrinations of marriage must be followed punctiliously by all and sundry who care to venture into marriage. If you do not want to venture into marriage, you go away. There is always a room to skedaddle and abscatulate into another world if you don't want to marry. It's not a must. So if you don't want to marry, there must be an understanding. There must be conjugal bliss, nuptial knots of romantic affiliations as you tie the ivy and garland around the tree. So there must be that understanding. This thing shows that, number one, there was no understanding, there was no love, there was a ridiculous
conversation.
Of course, there was a ridiculous attraction, there was an utterly ludicrous combination, a combo. There was no proper colloquy, there was no intriguing and interesting conversation between them. What we see now is a quagmire. What we see now is what people can call marital tofiakwa. Thank you very much.
I don't know what Tofia Okwa.
Yes.
Okay.
Marital conjunctivitis, marital Apollo.
This strange thing now they break house.
So
Use this. Start using this.
And it's the cause of the ASU strike, like you said. Yeah, continue. Go ahead,
so
quickly.
Adding to that same
Nothing.
topic,
Yes.
adding to
It's a pamphlet.
this
Okay,
so
let's hear it.
Well, that's it.
to that issue, that topic now, and this thing now, if you do a marriage, a man is always a man. Even animal like Okwawa. The problem is from the woman.
Oh, really?
Are you getting
Yes,
me?
you want to
So the
submissive.
problem is from
Obey.
the woman. Animal like a before, even the social media, and what is a married woman doing in social media handle?
Excuse me?
Cambia go to Cambia. Oh my
goodness!
Oh, you mean you are married? You should mind your children.
She dey work, they collect money. Waiting you return.
Which one work? The husband, the husband do me pelon she and ego jazo mazia.
I think I don't know, but I think no! Did you do that? I'm confused.
I will say my own. I will say my own.
Are you saying that married women should leave Facebook,
That's not what it means.
Instagram,
That's
like
not what it means.
Twitter?
That's not what it means.
He just said
It
it.
means that.
Oh my
what is
goodness.
it
Defend
is that
Ukwu.
you are not. Yes, I know.
Why are you not?
You're not
Let me
supposed to. Okay.
let me.
How do you even you use the word submissive? How do you even define the word?
Submissive. Submissive to who? One person is submissive to another. Who? Is it the man that is submissive to
The wife must be submissive.
So, okay, then
husband loves
Why I tell you say this thing na lack of understanding and
My goodness.
maturity because say she get social media handle. You know me say like my name for social media na MC Toro. If you go there, it's there. That may not be my original name for my village. You understand? So if I marry, my wife
that's
no
your business name.
My wife no go dey answer Mrs. Itoro because Mrs. Itoro is York's a brand. Now you come down to the marriage. The woman she get her social media and the way she take they make money, keep that aside. Enter inside marriage. Document. You can change document. You can this thing not to York stop. See reason from here, see reason from here. The two of you will come together and make agreements. Everything is
right.
right.
There's something Prof said before. There's something Prof said before, and there's something you equally say.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes. Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Ita is my name from Lagos State.
Okay. Go ahead quickly.
I had your conversation and sorry to say, if you say the marriage, the woman should wear the man's name, that is totally wrong. If a man dies today and they say she intends to marry another person, does it mean she will continue changing the name or what?
Okay. Okay.
So my suggestion is the woman should bear her father's name. That is perfectly okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. I mean, I do not know why you're seeing it as such a big
That
deal.
is what I'm telling you. It's understanding. It's understanding. A man is always a man that paid your bride price.
Nobody is disputing the fact that he is the man of the house. But
right,
I mean,
please,
changing name is that
the
enough
woman
to have
should
the
be
rules?
Please.
How wife?
Why are you rebellious?
Excuse me. Let me ask something. Let us eschew sentimentalism and emotional assertion, bogus postulations in this issue. Now, I got to understand something right now. This is her business name, right?
Of
They
course.
said it is her. Wait, excuse
Yes.
me. They said it's her business name, her social media handle. You understand? Now, it's about understanding. That is exactly what you said. Understanding. They can reach an understanding. Look, you are doing this business. This is what you are known with. If you know that this will promote your business, continue. You understand? But when it comes to personal issue like bank accounts, all these things, you must change to your husband's name. But the business names, those ones are considerable. You understand? They're very, very considerable. So it is something about understanding. Talking about subjugation and all those kind of things is based on understanding. Love can even make the denominator obey the numerator.
Let me ask one question. Let me ask one question to this thing.
We don't have
Between the
much
man and
time.
the woman, who should be more understanding?
Both parties.
Everybody
No.
must be more
It's
understanding.
not
There
meant
must be one
to
Both should be. There must
There must be one person.
equilibrium. be.
That's
There
what I'm
must be an
saying. It has to
opening
come from
in the
both
theory of
parties.
This thing like the same issue with
If the woman,
this is why
You know what?
strike never ends.
woman enough to just because of name and divorce, she's not supposed to be a wife.
At this point,
There must
If
be
the woman used because of
understanding.
name and divorce, she don't have love for the
at
children.
this point, we just have to, I mean,
What you go
end the show. No, like, I didn't get the part of being off social media because I am married to a man. Now I totally disagree with you. But we're going to talk about it later.
The man can take
I
care
don't
of
tell
the
you what
children.
I
The man
tell
can
you.
totally shut down the business.
So social media.
The husband, the husband can shut down the business.
Listen,
You know, they talk like woman.
some women wouldn't like to become housewives. Some want to be, but hey, that's a topic for
That's
another
not the
day.
reason why
That's a
she
topic for another day.
divorce.
This is where the cookie crumbles. I mean, it's been a heated one here in the studio. A heated plenary, I must say. But then, I mean, we just have to wrap it up. Thank you so much for being part of today's edition of the program, The Assembly. We'll see you next week for another edition. My name is Lady Blonde from the very, 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 very high places. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend.
This is ABS, Heartbeat of the East.